Hey everybody, Mike Michalkow here, and today I want to talk about the new Evans EC Reso drum head, okay? Now these are generally going to be a bottom resonant head for your toms, and I think up until now, most drummers, myself included, have been using the clear G1 as a bottom head. Okay, that's kind of been the staple, the standard, which is awesome, okay? And I'm still using this head often. The clear G1, okay? Very thin head, awesome for the resonance of your toms for any style of music. And a quick story, so about 6 months ago, I was doing a lesson at Drumeo, and when I get there, you never know who's been there prior to my lesson, and you know, head selections are very random with everybody because it's so personal. And I pretty much use any top head by Evans, you know, the coated G2s, the clear G2s, the clear EC2s, the calf tones, whatever. I'm not too picky. It just depends on sometimes the sound that I'm going for. And anyways, I sit down behind the drum set and I look, and there's a clear, I believe it was a G2 on top, and I look through the drum and I see this black ring, and my initial thought was, why would somebody put an EC2 batter head on the bottom? Hey, it's personal preference. You can't tell anybody what to do if that's their sound. That's beautiful. So I'm thinking, I gotta hear this because it's my ears. My eyes can't tell me how this is gonna sound. So I grab my stick and I hit the mid tom, and it sounded like $1,000,000. I'm like, what? So then I hit the 10. I'm like, okay, what? And there was a 14-inch floor and a 16-inch floor with these heads, which I thought were the EC2 Reso heads. So Kyle, the main engineer there at Drumeo, comes in, and you know, dear friend and very, very nice man. I said, wow, who would have thought that putting the EC2s on the bottom of your drums would sound so cool? And he goes, oh no, those aren't the EC2s, those are the new EC Resos. And I'm like, what? And I look closer and I'm like, oh, what? So meanwhile, I obviously didn't do my homework when these new heads came out, and I guess I don't do enough research sometimes on a new product because I just sort of stick with something for so long that why change a good thing? So I was like, this is awesome! So the first thing I do is I contact Diodario and my folks at Evans, and I said, can you guys send me a couple samples of these EC Resos? I'm dying to try them out because I couldn't believe how different and in my opinion a little better and more controlled those drums that I play at Drumeo, the Maple Custom Hybrids, were amazing. And I was like, holy smokes. So anyways, so they sent me a bunch of these heads, okay, and I tried them out, and I'm totally in love. And it's funny, because how much technology can there be in a bottom drum head? I mean, over the years, I've just used the same thing, clear single ply, and that's always been the staple. So I'm still going to be using the G1s because the thing that I've noticed, they're both 10 mil plies for you drum nerds out there who know what that means. I don't get too caught up in that stuff, believe it or not, because it's all about sound for me, not about what it says on paper. And proof was when I hit the drum and it sounded amazing. So when I do the tap test, you know, I hold the head by the rim here and I'll tap the center of it, right? And I can hear that it's thin, but when I tap the G1 clear, I can hear that it's thinner. Like, interesting, because now I have two really cool choices between bottom heads now. Thinner for maybe jazz and that kind of music, and then for rock, pop, funk, gospel, I might have a little more control. And I think that's what I had heard when I had hit those toms at Drumeo, was the amount of control that I was getting from the drum. And I don't ever muffle my toms. My floor toms once in a while, but I haven't muffled a drum in 20 years easily, okay? You just get good heads, get decent drums, and learn how to tune and tension everything evenly so the sound is where you want it, okay? And it's so personal. So anyways, the EC Reso came out, and I fell in love because now I have a second option for bottom head. And it's funny because I have them on pretty much every one of my drums now. So my little 8-inch, my Beach Custom, you know, Blue Sparkle. And, you know, because sometimes 8-inch toms can be a little uncontrollable. Sometimes they can be too dead depending on the head. So I have an EC2 on top, which is a 2-ply, 2 7 mil plies. And the EC Reso on the bottom, which is the edge control, you know, ring, and when you hit these guys, they sound amazing. Okay, on my Phoenix. Now I haven't tried these yet. I have a show coming up soon here where I've got the G2, the 2-ply clear on the top, and the EC Reso on the bottom, and even just doing this little tap test. I'm not using any fancy microphones. I just want the sound of the room. Some of my snares are buzzing, because this is how most people in the world tune drums. We don't have the fancy microphones and all the reverbs and stuff. This is what my ears are hearing. I can hear that I might need to tune a little bit on the bottom. There's a little bit of a wave in there, but I put the head on about 2 weeks ago and haven't played it yet. Yeah, the floor tom, same thing. I've got the EC Reso. So I'm kind of going a little crazy with these EC Resos right now, including to the point where I just put these on yesterday. I have a gig tonight, and I have the Evans UV1. I know this is a review on the EC Reso, but I'm using the UV1. It's kind of a jazz, sort of a funk gig tonight, and this is the Michalkow junior kit, and it's a birch shell, right? And it's a wood shell. There's no wrap on it. And I had the G. I just took the G1 off. And I'm dying to hear how these drums sound tonight. It's going to be great with the UV1 on top. So I get to play soft and loud, a little bit of brushes. There's going to be some hot rods and some sticks. So I'm really, really quite impressed with these EC Reso. So I think if anybody's looking for a slight change in their sound, for a bit more control, especially if you have a hard time with tuning or getting your drums to sound good, you know, drummers, try to get away from muffling the heck out of your drums. I mean, we can do that. It's, you know, and if we have to do that, we can do that. That's awesome. But it just gets to the point where you really want the tone of the drum, you know. And I think that's why we spend so much time researching drums and loving drums and knowing what we like and what we don't like. And then when I see a great high-end drum set that's just covered in muffles and rings and pads and duct tape, it's just like, oh, you know, like, you're really taking away from the sound. It's not your true voice. It'd be like me talking to you guys like this. You know, you're not going to quite get the full tone of my voice. Not that my voice is anything anybody wants to hear, but hopefully my advice is something that you want to take and hear. So that's my take on the EC Resos clears for the bottom heads. I'm blown away. It says right on the box, rock and gospel. You know, I'm using this for everything. I play in a Santana tribute band, and I play in an orchestra, and I play in an Eric Clapton tribute band, and I sub for all kinds of bands, playing all kinds of music, and I'm going to try them for everything, but I'm probably going to bounce back and forth between the EC Reso and the Evans G1 clear to just kind of change up the sound once in a while. And I think if that's something you want to try, it's going to be a great investment. Check it out. Evans, EC Reso, you're going to love them because I do. Have a wonderful day.